Okay, welcome back. Happy Taco Tuesday. We are live. Welcome back to the channel, you guys. I'm going to give it a couple of minutes and then we got to talk about what went down on both the Young and the Restless and the Bold and the Beautiful. And the Bold and the Beautiful. So, hold on one second. We'll let some folks stroll on in here. And we gonna break it all down. Break it all down. All right, let's see who we have in here. Hey, Aisha. Hey, Keita. Welcome in. Welcome in. Happy Tuesday to you guys. Happy Tuesday to you guys. Yeah, we got to talk about today's episode. All righty. Let's see. Hey, Melissa. Yes, hit that like button on the way in. Cynthia, Cheryl, Vicky Langer, Blackpink, me. Welcome, you guys. Hello, hello, hello. Yes, happy Taco Tuesday. Absolutely. Hey, Jasmine. Welcome in. Hello, Jazz. Alrighty. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button. Hey, LaShanta, Indigo Blue. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get started. So welcome you guys to Soap Corner Talk, where we are going to discuss both the Young and the Restless and the Bold and the Beautiful for October 22nd. And in about another week or so, we'll be not only heading into the month of November, but we'll also be heading into November sweeps. So look like they're trying to do build up for some exciting things on both soaps, but for right now, we got to talk about today's episode. So I'm going to go ahead. We're going to jump into Young and the Restless. So, look like Adam did a hit piece, as we all know, on Billy. And yeah, when the information comes out at the end of the episode, I don't think there's too many happy people about that. You know what I'm saying? So first, we got to talk about simping, because Nate decided that he's trying to go above and beyond to help Audra Charles to get a job, and he go and ask his cousin Devon to bring Audra Charles to Hamilton Winters. And of course, Devon looked at him like, yeah, right. I know you must be joking me. You must be punking me. If you actually are going to think that I'm going to hire Audra Charles. And he is pleading and begging with this man. Now, just to be mindful about this whole situation, Nate went rogue on his own. He didn't even say, hey, Audra, I'm going to go and try to see if I can get you a job at my company. Well, either way it go, Devon turned him down. So, hey, Miss Mariah. Hey, Jacqueline. Hey, Marion. The interesting thing is when he gets over, well, after the conversation with these two ladies who are both headed to Delulu Island because they both trying to fight an uphill battle for something that they no longer have access to. And it was funny that Audra asked Lily, ma'am, why you talking about me still in the company? Did you even get a contract when talking to Victor? Oh, yeah. I guess you didn't. Because she goes into this whole word salad about how Neil and Victor were always friends and all of that. And she looking at her like, okay, and that means what exactly? Because obviously it means nothing because you're out of a job and you're out of an opportunity because Victor played you and me. And so we actually had a coming to a sisterhood moment with these two because they all agree on the fact that they have a common enemy, which is Victor Newman. Yeah. So I don't know if they're going to work together, but it seems like they both are civil to each other. But yeah, they were throwing shots at the beginning, and I think Lily was throwing more shots than anybody to Audra. But that whole thing was funny. I'm looking at both of them like, y'all, really? Both of y'all out of a company, not only Victor played you, but you played yourself. There's no reason that Audra should even be in this position because she could have had the company free and clear. And Lily, you was just not smart to think that you were going to outsmart Victor Newman without a contract. And even with a contract, knowing Victor Newman, he probably would have figured out a loophole to get out of that contract because he wanted his wife to run that company. But they were both comparing Delulu Island notes. You know, they don't want to head over to the unemployment office. They rather fight upstream to get something that technically no longer belongs to them. Audra and Lily need to hold hands and have several seats. Exactly, LaShanta. Aisha said the blind leading the blind. Correct. Jacqueline said, I never thought I would see Lily and Audra talking together. Tell me about it. But they're in the same boat and they have a common enemy. Now, granted, Lily has two because she can't stand Billy. Billy is not Audra's problem, but they do have Victor in common. Hey, Brenda. I mean, yeah, that whole thing was crazy. I'm like, she got an opportunity. Lily has an opportunity to go back to Winters. She don't want to do it. So you know what? You want to stay over there with Audra on Delulu Island? Have at it. We also saw once Lily left and looked like her and Nate's are in good spirits. They plan to have dinner when Lily takes off. Nate breaks the news that he offered or requested the opportunity to get a job for her over at Winters, and she was pissed. Now this girl, who don't have a job currently, she gets mad and said, you know what, this relationship is over. I don't need you helping me. You don't trust my abilities. Ma'am, you got a track record of what your abilities look like. Let's see. You were at Chancellor. You got kicked out because you were a mole. You were at Newman Media. You got kicked out because it was Nikki Newman and, you know, technically it's an at-will state and she could fire you for no cause. Then you get the company that, or you skipped over the company that could have been given to you only to give Victor Newman majority share, which means he called the shots, which brought Kyle into the mix, and now you're out of a job. So your track record really don't speak highly of what you can accomplish, even though you have an MBA. Granted, MBA is a great degree, you know, however, it's how you use it. And Audra, unfortunately, she's not using it up to the master's degree that she has, because she would automatically know that anytime you give somebody majority share of your company, they call the shots. I think a lot. You can learn that on Shark Tank. I mean, that's why they don't like giving up big percentages on Shark Tank, because, you know, they want to own majority share. And I've seen sometimes over the past, 18 seasons now on Shark Tank, that if they no longer want to keep the company and sell it to one of the sharks take majority ownership. Well, guess what? Victor Newman, let's say he was a shark in Shark Tank. She gave away majority interest in her company, but yet she still thinks she could call the shots, and now the majority owner decided to let her go. So, yeah, I don't know if you might just want to take that job, but obviously, hold on, Devon don't trust her, so she has no job at Winter. So it's not going to happen, ma'am. You could have had a company free and clear. But she's mad. She told him this relationship is over. I told you not to meddle. I want to do what I want to do. And if I was Nate, I would run. He's begging this woman to try to get her to see why he did what she's going to do what she want to do, Nate. There's no reason to try to convince her otherwise. Just let her fall on her face. Who knows? They might flip the script on us and have Lily and Audra come out on top. We never know. But for right now, it seems that, yeah, she need to take the advice of Nate and try to chill out. He's been trying to give her foresight for the longest, and she just won't take it. So, you know what? Let her fall on her face. All right. We then had the scene with Billy and Sally, which I was not interested in. I am not interested in them as a couple. I know some of you guys are. Phyllis was trying to talk business to try to get Billy back on track so that they can convince Jill to not hire Lily back. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, it's simple. Billy, just tell Jill that, Lily stole information and gave it to Victor. She won't have a job. That's all you got to do. I mean, but I think Victor took care of that. And we'll talk about that in a minute. Victor already threw Lily under the bus. Boy. Wait till Jill see that article. But, I was like, you know what, Phyllis, I know you got a lot going on. You're trying to help them. And I wish that those two would work together. I would like to see Billy and Phyllis work together. Not in a relationship, but as business partners, because I think that they would be fun to watch. But what is not fun to watch is this whole relationship with Sally. And I mean, like I said, I just don't think I think she need to be back on the Bold and the Beautiful. I think there's maybe a lot more material over there for her. I could be wrong, but to me, it's like basically she tried to come in with Theo and Jack and Adam and Nick and now Billy, and it's like, I know y'all can do something else with Sally. Seriously? Why did y'all bring her over to the Young and the Restless if she's barely got a job? She's only filling in for Chelsea. And she's been back and forth between the different guys on the show. And it's like, give her something else outstanding to do. If not, send her back to the Bold and the Beautiful. Give the Forresters some competition like they used to do, in my opinion. Yeah, Gail Lewis said, I don't like the pairing of Billy and Sally. I agree with you. Aisha said, that is crazy. He is helping her. You can't leave them to make them drink the water. She need to sit down, and Lily. Exactly. Leave Audra be. Tamika said, yes, bring back Sally on Bold to shake Steffy up. I mean, why not have the competitions of two fashion lines? You already got a fashion line over there with Finmore and Marchetti. She's only working for Marchetti, and other than that, she's back and forth between the guys on the show, and it's like, she's a fashion designer. She was Sally Spectra namesake from the OG Sally from Bold back in the day. Put her back over there and give Forrester some competition, steal some designs, hostile takeovers. Let's do that instead. They're not giving, and I mean, Courtney Hope did win an Emmy last year for the whole losing of Ava storyline. But outside of that, it's like, put her back on Bold. I mean, yeah, she's a Spectra. Sally Spectra originated on the Bold and the Beautiful. Why would you put on Y&R? But that's just my opinion. So I'm not really vested into Sally and Billy, and Phyllis isn't either. Phyllis is like, look, we need to get to work. We need to cut the crap. Stop playing cutesies and trauma bonding with Sally, and let's get to work. Okay? Cut the crap, Billy. Well, unfortunately, in the middle of all of this, because there is a conversation which is not on the screen with Adam and Victor, and Adam is like, you know what? I wrote the hit piece. I didn't save I didn't save him at all. I did not touch Jack. I told you I'm not touching Jack. Don't ask me to even think about touching Jack. Forget about it. And then Victor starts talking about how him and Chelsea seem so nice together and y'all need to fix that. And then when Adam walks away, Victor goes into this whole thing about how him and Chelsea look good together and all this, and Chelsea was not having it. She was like, I'm still got feelings for Billy, and I want to see if that works, and you got feelings for Sally. That ship might have sailed already, Adam and Chelsea, because Billy and Sally are kissing each other now. So I don't know if you can go back to that, and I don't know if they will want you back after that. So whatever. I just don't Blackpink me. I don't see the chemistry, in my opinion, to answer your question. So I just think Sally should be on bold. I mean, if you're gonna pull that's like, I don't know, I guess Steffy could be on YNR, but Steffy is Stephanie Forrester's namesake. I mean, yeah, she could come over to visit, but I don't know if I would like Steffy on YNR. She belong on bold. Anyway, but that hit piece came out, and Chelsea was hotter than fish grease, because obviously she is not over Billy. And as much as Adam thought that the hit piece on Billy wasn't going to be a problem, it might be a problem for him now, with everything, because she still got feelings for Billy. Then Billy see the hit piece as well. And in that hit piece, not only it talks about his leadership and all of that, but it also talked about Odyssey 7. And Lily had a conversation with Devon about that. And she told me, I don't know whether or not to be happy or to be pissed. You need to be pissed at yourself, ma'am, because you're the one that gave Victor the information about Odyssey 7. So, I mean, seriously, talking about, I don't know if I should be mad or happy. Well, be mad at yourself. All this chaos you created around yourself is all your fault. So now you got to own it. Can we also talk about the other piece where Devon decided that he wanted to confront Victor? So he goes into this whole soliloquy about, Victor, I don't like how you played my sister. And Victor gave him a word salad out of this world, saying, I did this for you. She belonged with the Winters. So, I figured that maybe if I, not have her working over at Chancellor and my wife is taking a job, she would go back to work at Winters. But you haven't told him the whole story, Victor. You also, at one point, Victor also wanted Lily to work alongside Nikki. So he's giving them half-truths and a word salad. And of course, he backed down. Devon did, after he said, I'm trying to help you out by trying to get Lily to go back to Winters. Right. Hey, Belinda. Hey, Jan. Hey, Jenna. Exactly, Jenna. Jenna said, what does Victor care what Devon thinks? Victor don't care about nobody. He care about what he thinks. Gail said, too bad and too sad, Lily. Lily, Sally, and Audra are getting on your nerves, huh, Jenna? Jan said the other most ridiculous storyline is the secret wedding location. Yeah, that's stupid. So how is the bride and groom going to want to know where they're going to show up? I mean, if you're going to figure out a place for them to get married, they need to know where to go. That's just dumb. So I guess maybe we'll get more details in the next couple weeks. Yeah, he sure does. Nikki enables all of Victor. But yeah, Victor didn't care about Devon, and he tap danced around him to make him think like he was doing Devon a favor, by him playing his sister, it was a way to get her to go back to Winters. Right. Sure, let's go with that, Victor. And of course, Devon backed down because he was like, well, maybe that makes some kind of sense. No, you just got mentally played too. Victor just played you in a matter of 5 seconds, Devon. And finally, the last storyline that we had today was this whole conversation between Claire and Kyle. Claire is trying to mediate this situation, and in my opinion, I know she likes the guy, and there's a connection there, and they got feelings for each other, but I'm hoping that she's not way over her head with trying to be the mediator in all of this. And then Kyle had the nerve to say that his family is villainizing him. Dude, you made yourself an enemy. You the one decided to go work for the competitor. You're the one that decided to steal the formula and give it to said competitor. And then all of the bratty dart conversations that you, and he's acting like, wow, my family is really destroying each other, and I don't know how this happened, and I know they're trying to make me look like the villain. Dude, you are the villain right now. The reason that they're fighting is because of you. They're fighting because of him. They're fighting because of him. You're the catalyst in all of this. And maybe he talking about, I don't know what to do to fix it. Maybe you need to get off your high horse, sit down with both your parents, and hash this thing out. The reason that they're arguing is because of Kyle. Brooklyn says, what if Claire's the one to bring Victor down? What do you think? That would be interesting, and she would be ousted out of the family. Because if Claire get in the middle of this and take down her grandfather, he might send her exactly where Jordan is. Away. So I'm like, dude, you trying to play dumb? There's no way Kyle should be sitting around here trying to play dumb. Like, I don't know how this happened. I mean, they making me look like the villain. I don't know what to do to fix it. You're in the middle. You're the core of this whole thing. So, Kyle, you need to take several seats and sit down and reflect on these last few months of everything you said, everything you did, all of it. And like I always say accountability goes around with all three of them because they all had a hand in this demise, but he's in the center of it. So, yeah. All right. So I'm going to give this episode, I'll give it a B. I thought it was pretty good. I wasn't really vested into the Sally Billy thing. It was just funny that Nate was simping for Audra. We got to actually see a cordial conversation between Audra and Lily. That hit piece came out. And then Devon trying to confront Victor. And Phyllis trying to get Billy back on track. So it was a pretty decent episode. I gave it a B. Let me see what y'all got. Let me see what y'all got. Alright, I see a bunch of B's and C's in the chat. Jacqueline says Kyle and Claire scene was nauseating. You're so funny. Alrighty. Let's move on. We're going to go to bold. Alright, so we're going to start first by the whole conversation where Hope was fantasizing, thinking about yesterday, how she has the very simpy Carter in her back pocket. And I got a theory about that, but I don't know if I should go there. It might be an unpopular opinion. But I'm wondering if she tried to back off to keep him on by a thread. If she didn't give in and say, because remember, she was the one that started ripping his shirt off. One of you guys reminded me of that yesterday. And she stopped midstream. And she know that man is going to want her more and more and more as time go by. I'm wondering if she's using this as a way to really have him go hard in the paint for her the longer that she kind of slow things down. And she got every right to slow things down, just like you guys were saying she had every right to say no to the proposal that Thomas gave her. But she's thinking about all this, and Brooke comes in, and she was like, oh, you got a big old smile on your face. You got something to smile about. And she talking about how everybody's in her corner, and we can't let Steffy do this. And now that you got Carter in your pocket, we could definitely keep Steffy from doing this and whatever. He's the COO of the company. But he's still not a Forrester. And technically, Ridge, Steffy, and Eric can fire him if they choose to. So it's not like his position is in stone, but they're making it look like, you know what, yeah, I know you got the ace of spade in your pocket. For those that play spades, I know you got the ace of spade in your pocket, but even though Ridge and Steffy are the little and the big joker, you still got enough to work with. And it's like, girl, y'all don't use this man. If Hope is not truly interested in him, don't use him. Please don't. So then Will comes in, and he's like, oh, you know, I told my dad the other day that I'm working at Forrester, and, you know, he might not like it, but he understands it, that I'm over here for all the pretty girls. And, oh, yeah, there's a bunch of pretty women here at Forrester, according to Brooke. And then they talk about the Forrester versus Logan thing, and they don't want him getting the crossfire, but they end up telling him anyway the dynamics of the crossfire. Yeah. So obviously they want him to interact with Elektra. We've been saying that for the last month and a half about him and Elektra. Yeah, the ones that I play spades a lot with my cousin, called my mama card shark. Listen, she thinks she got the ace of spades, because remember, the three highest cards in the deck in spades is the big joker, the little joker, and the ace of spades. Steffy and Ridge are the big joker and the little joker. And the ace of spades technically would be Carter, because he's like in second command, but he's very high up in the deck. Hey, DC. He's very high up in the deck. So for Carter to, and I'm going to dive deep into that whole thing, but for Hope to think that Carter actually is, you know, somebody, oh, yeah, we're going to make sure we're going to keep him on our side, and, you know, we're not going to let Steffi take you down or get rid of your line. And I'm like, Brooke, I thought you were in that executive space to be a business thinking person. Her line suck. The buyers don't want it. The buyers are rejecting it. There's no visibility on social media where they're even interested in it. It's draining finances, and you're pulling money from the bedroom line to continue it to go forward. That doesn't sound too profitable, Brooke, but she thinks that it's all personal. Yeah. Yeah, let's go with that. Aisha said, I like how Steffi handled Carter, but she will do it on the account of Eric. All these broken hearts, Carter, future villain emergence. Yeah, Hope was giddy about Carter's compliments, not his kisses. Yeah, her love language has to be words of affirmation. She loves when people give her an ego boost. When Finn was saying all these nice things, when Thomas was saying I'm a one-woman man, and that was a turn on for her, she loves her ego stroked. So then we had a conversation with Sheila and Deacon. And I gotta say, this is the first time that I ever saw Sheila Carter speak nice about Brooke. You see, I had a moment of silence after I said that, right? Sheila Carter spoke nice about Brooke. when they were both talking about how Hope is, he's worried about Hope and what's going on over at Forrester. And Sheila was like, oh, you and Brooke have nothing to worry about, even though originally she thought she was, a little jealous because she wanted to know why his ex was at that restaurant. But when Deacon broke it all down about what's going on at Forrester and her line and all this stuff, we actually saw Sheila speak nice of Brooke Logan because they're trying to protect Hope. And Steffy, I'm like, wait, what? Aisha said, I like what Deacon said to Sheila about her looking scary. Yeah, for a moment, because she was looking at him like, you better not play with me. If you back trying to canoodle with Brooke, you know what I'm capable of, sir. You know what I'm capable of. But anyway, yeah, that whole thing, I'm like, what y'all worried about? Y'all just got y'all business back on track. I mean, obviously, he's in his feelings about it, with this. And, of course, that's his daughter, but you need to know the facts. And the facts are the numbers, and the numbers are saying that her line is crap. Okay, but they're trying to make it look like it's all personal. Then it takes us to what happened in the CEO office. So there's a conversation between Carter and Steffy about the Hope for the Future line. And Steffy is like, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. I might have to cut it. The numbers aren't doing anything. And this man get a whole attitude. He got upset with Steffy telling him about this line. And he, she was like, why are you so gung-ho for this line all of a sudden? And then he goes into this whole, speech about how, we can't lose the line. It's going to break Hope. And she's not going to have, this part of her identity and all this so kind of foolishness. It doesn't make any sense when Sheila concerns about her husband, about Brooke and Hope. I know, right? But, yeah, Carter goes into this whole thing about explaining. And he was like, look, just give it some time and all this type of stuff. And Steffi is like, I mean, y'all want me to continue to drain money out this company because you don't want me to hurt somebody's feelings. So then Carter says, I got another idea for you. And his phone chirped. And, of course, it was Ivy. And he brought Ivy in and she looking like, what's she doing here? And so he was like, well, we haven't had a jury line since Quinn left. And she was like, okay, but what they got to do with Ivy? And she was like, well, I do have, I'm a Forrester, which technically she is truly a blood Forrester. I got to say that. She is a Forrester. But she said, I am a Forrester and I have a jury line. My jury line is amazing. And I think we should be able to use it. And both of them are going back and forth. Carter and Ivy. One by one by one by one. And Steffi's like, hold on. I'm blindsided about this. Why did you feel not the need to have a conversation about this? And I agree with that. Now, I get it. Some people might not feel some kind of way. And then we also heard Steffi say he's our COO for now. Now, I don't know if she was joking or ready to kick him to the curb when she was talking about Elektra. It looked like she was more happy to see Elektra more than Ivy. But her and Ivy have history. Ivy was like, look, let me just say this. We're not the same people anymore. That was a long time ago. We can't just continue. We're adults. Things change. All of that. Carter, I think, listen, I understand bringing business to the table. You want new and innovative ideas. But you have to have a conversation first. You meet with your CEO. You're not you come to the table with an idea like, look, I want to bring on the jury line that we can actually add bring in more things, to grow the business, blah, blah, blah. I don't think Steffy would have had a problem with the conversation. You put this woman on the spot by bringing this person in, her cousin, and her niece. Carter didn't know she was bringing the niece. Her niece, Electra, is, the person that works for her. But this should have been a conversation well before Ivy came on to the scene. He's overstepping, exactly. There's no way that this should have happened on the spot. It's bad enough Katie dropped Will on the spot by saying, hey, I got a question. You got an internship? Luna's gone. Maybe you can give it to Will. By the way, Will really is not interested in fashion, but we would want to have him anywhere. I mean, how many times do you think Steffy's going to keep doing that? So Katie throws somebody on the table. Okay, we got Will. She agreed to that. And now Carter, without a conversation, decided to just bring in Ivy and expect her to make a decision in that moment. I don't think that was appropriate. Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, Carter should also be aware of the differences that they have. And I think somebody said, Tanisha Gray say, Carter should have let Steffy and Ivy work out their differences first. There's bad blood between these ladies. And to just bring her in and then get mad or frustrated on why she need to think about it, why she need to consider this, why Steffy feel a certain way. I don't think it's a bad idea. I just think the steps that was taken was inappropriate. Jenna says it's not up to Carter to come up with any new concept for the company. That should be discussed first. Exactly. He could still have an idea, but he needed to talk to Steffy and Ridge to say, hey, what if we bring Ivy, since we lost Quinn, why don't we bring Ivy's jewelry line to Forrester? She's a Forrester. We don't want her out there with the competitor, because Ivy did say, oh, you're the first stop. I mean, I am a Forrester. I like working here. This is a family company. I want to get y'all first dibs, but I could go somewhere else. But y'all he's not thinking. And I get it. You trying to show forward movement, because he called her being conservative in thought. It's just a way of doing things, Carter. You just don't bust in and say, hey, I need you to hire this person, and then get mad when it doesn't go the way you think it's going to go. You know what I mean? So that whole thing was just not done in the correct format to me. But it makes for good soapy drama. You know what I mean? Have a conversation. Exactly, Angela. That would be... It would be crazy for somebody to just come in and say, from out of the blue, and I'm not going to use any of my castmates, but just say we had another imaginary castmate on my shows that I do, and they just show up one day and say, hey, we want this person to be as one of the cast members on this podcast. I'm going to be like, well, who is the person? Why? Did they have any experience? And then if I say, well, this should have been a conversation first, and you get and the imaginary cast person get offended, I'm going to be like, okay, if you got a problem with that, maybe you need to leave. That ain't how that works. And he knows better. All these years, Carter ran decisions through them first. And now all of a sudden, you just going to make a decision on your own and expect Steffy to make a decision based on what you want in this moment and on the spot without any forethought. The girl looked shocked, blindsided, everything else. Even though, like I said, she was happy to see Electra. And she even complimented how beautiful Ivy's jewelry line is. But the thing is that there's a way to do things. It's a time and place for everything. And the way he did that, it's just, You don't blindside your CEO. There's no way anybody could go into their CEO office and tell them to hire their friend or family member on the spot. There are checks and balances on a way to get a position. And granted, she's family, and of course, obviously, tomorrow or on Thursday, she's going to go talk to Eric, which means Eric is not going to be happy that that's happening to his biological granddaughter. That's now going to pit his two granddaughters against each other, all because Carter didn't do this the right way. He didn't do this the right way. You know. Carter is behaving like he run things there and not Steffy. I mean, I don't like how they're writing Carter at this point. I really don't. And it sucks that this is the way that they're doing it. You know, and I just, I miss the other Carter, and I wish they would have gave him a different. At first, I was kind of excited about what they were going to do with Hope and him, just to see if they got chemistry or just create a new budding relationship. With everything that's going on right now and how this is all playing out, I don't know if I'm feeling this whole direction. I kind of want Carter need to take a step back from Hope, and try to say or at least give Steffy an apology. Look, I'm sorry. Maybe I overstepped. Maybe what I should have done is discuss this first with you and Ridge, and then see what we thought about it. Then we could have scheduled something with Ivy to have her come in after all of us discussed it first, but he didn't do that. You know what I mean? So that's where I am. I hope not. I hope Lawrence St. Victor isn't writing this for himself, Jasmine. That would be crazy. Yeah, Sherelle said Carter is pushing it a little. Yep, I agree. So we got to see, how this is all going to happen. Obviously, it's brewing up to November sweeps. Look like it's going to be a war in that CEO office. He keep throwing hope for the future out there, talking about instead of worrying about ending hope for the future, we need to be moving this company forward. I'm like, oh, Carter, don't simp out like that. Him and Nate was in the same boat today. I'm like, what are y'all doing? He's simping for Audra, and Carter's simping for Hope. It's just crazy to me. But it was a good episode for Soapy drama. That whole conversation with Will, okay, filler scene. But the rest of this was gearing up for this whole catastrophe happening in the CEO office this week. And you know what? Honestly, I'm curious to see where this is going to go. I know Bree is going to have a lot to say tomorrow night with all of this. And yeah, look like Steffy got blindsided and Billy got hit with a hit piece on him in regards to his leadership. Both of their leaderships are in question. Both Steffy's leadership and Billy's leadership as well. So, pretty decent episode. Make sure you guys hit that like button on the way out. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on your notifications so you're notified every time a video is posted. I'm T from Soap Corner Talk. Till the next one. We'll see you all later. Bye, Soapies.